Hey folks, Jadwin here. I wanted to put together a Season 12, Patch 2.6.1 Torment Speed Farming Efficiency Guide. In all the research I've done on Diablo, I've never come across a guide that really showed people where they should be farming and how to do it effectively in terms of their return per torment level as opposed to their speed. Because you get all this really poor misinformation out there about this build can do Torment 13 the first day of the season. Okay, that might be true. Unfortunately, it almost 100% can't do Torment 13 effectively the first day of the season. And so you end up with all these people doing Torment 13 3 hours into the season, and they just end up wasting so much time because they don't understand how to get through rifts quickly and how they should be focusing on speed, and the power will come. So let's just go over rifting in general, core concepts of rifting, our ROI, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the time. First and foremost, rifts. Why are we there? Well, there's a lot of things that come from rifts. GR stones, DBs, gold, legendaries, blood shards, gems. Primary function of rifting is to get GR stones. A GR stone is the most valuable commodity in the game. It is the greatest source of experience, is the greatest source of blood shards, is the greatest source of legendaries, and obviously gem ups. Every single second you're in a rift should be about getting to that rift stone as quickly as possible. If you focus on that, you will get greater rift stones at a really, really quick rate, which will turn into a multiplicative bonus over a period of time because you're going to be doing more GRs. The more GRs you do, the faster your character progression is going to go. And so when we start thinking about how do I make the most out of the time that I'm playing, you have to go through a little bit of a renaissance, as it were, in terms of paying attention to what you're doing. The first thing you can do is start timing your runs. I think a lot of you are going to be very surprised at how long your runs actually take, because you're doing a lot of things that are counterintuitive to speed farming because you have, maybe a poor idea of what you need to be doing when you're in a rift. Basic rifting guidelines. Always be moving forward, always be killing, never stop. I'm going to keep saying that. Always be moving forward, always be killing, never stop. Perfect example. Stop picking everything up. There's no point to it. If you follow these guidelines that I'm about to lay out for you, you're going to have more materials than you know what to do with. So that means when you kill a Molten and there's a DB inside the Molten, don't wait the 5 seconds to pick it up. Just carry on. Conversely, don't pick up every yellow and blue item and then come back to town and break it up and then go back to finish your rift. You're wasting time. Don't worry about picking everything up on the map. Stop going to chests. Make sure that your primary objective is, how do I fill this bar up the fastest? And if going to get a chest or waiting for a DB is in direct conflict with getting that bar filled up and killing that Rift Guardian quicker, then that's a choice you should never be making. Never backtrack. Again, always forward, always killing, never stop. If you are going to come to a door, you have two choices to make. A, I go in the door, and which you should go in the door probably 99% of the time. The 1% of the time you should not go in the door to the next level is if you are almost 100% positive that you can finish the rift on the current map you're on. If that tile set is a good one, say you're on jail and you're at 95% and you've only uncovered a third of the map, sure, okay, finish the map out, you'll be fine. But if you're at 30% and you've uncovered a portion of the jail and the door's there, just go. There's no reason to be wasting your time. When I start talking about numbers later, you'll see that if you're wasting even 10, 15, 20 seconds, it is a huge loss in efficiency. And so, again, your objective, always forward, always killing, never stop. If you're going to leave stuff on the ground, it's fine. If you're playing like Unhallowed Essence DH, right? And you kill something and a crossbow drops. Do you really need it? I don't know. You might think that, oh, it could be a primal. It's probably not a primal. If you want to stop and pick up every single thing, you're going to have this crazy, crazy long rift clear time. And at the end of the day, when you've done 20 rifts and I've done 175, the return that I'm going to get on my time is going to vastly supersede whatever that drop was. 99.9% of legendaries are going to be total crap that turn into Forgotten Souls. And if you make every single decision about picking up every single thing, you're just losing tons of efficiency. Remember, always forward, always killing, never stop. If you just talk about those few things that you could do, put yourself on a clock so you're cognizant of your time, always move forward, stop picking everything up, stop going for chests, and never backtrack. If you just do those things, I think you would probably see close to 100% increase in efficiency just doing those. Now we can actually get even into more in-depth concepts about how to really, really hone in on where you should be farming. What I did was I used a really, really good resource from Diablo fans, which basically broke down how you gain more resources as you move up in Torment level. And so what this chart does is very, very simple. I just put together a spreadsheet that calculates some values based upon the return that you get from doing rifts. And you'll notice very quickly that you only get about 6% more greater rift stones per level that you go up. And if you think about that in terms of how much time it takes to get through a rift, you can start coming to some really interesting conclusions. Over here on the right, I put together a little kind of plug and compare thing, which basically will allow you to compare what you're doing as opposed to what you could be doing. So let's say it's the first day of the season, you've gotten relatively lucky, you have a decent character, and you're already doing Torment 13 that night. And you're doing Torment 13 in about 3.5 minutes. You're like, oh, that's pretty good, right? So what's the return for a Torment 13 rift? You're going to get about 2.25 GR stones per greater rift, And it's going to take you 3.5 minutes, 210 seconds, right? So at this rate of farming Torment, you're going to be getting about 38.5 GR stones per hour. It's going to take you about 155 or basically 2 hours and 35 minutes to farm 100 keys. Like, oh, that's not that bad. I'm doing pretty good. First day of the season, I'm rocking it. I'm already doing Torment 13 at effective click. Here is where ignorance is going to hurt you, because this is in no way, shape, or form an effective click. This is really slow, actually. When you really start digging into how fast you can do rifts and you really focus on your speed, you'll realize that this is terrible. You should never be doing rifts if it takes you 3.5 minutes to do a rift. The rift is too high level for you, especially if you're playing a DH. Other classes, maybe it's a little bit different. So let's just say I can do a Torment 6 rift. Torment 6 return rift. Return rate 1.51 GR stones per rift. And I can do that in 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes. 2-minute T6 as opposed to 3.5-minute T13. The T6 dominates. It's 17.4% more GR stones per hour to do 2-minute T6s. Let that sink in. 2-minute T6s is better than 3.5-minute T13s for GR stones. And that's at T6. Obviously, once you have your Hagek's Gift done, you're probably going to be 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range, because that's, with the power creep that's been put into sets for Season 12, you're going to be able to do that. So let's say you could do T9s in 2 minutes. The return on that is 1.8 per rift, and now I'm getting 40% more GR keys. Think about that, 40% more. For every 100, I'm getting 140. And all that's going to do is those 40 GR keys are going to turn into 40 more XP runs, 40 more loads of blood shards, 40 more legendary packs. Everything's going to be amazing. And that's doing Torment 9 the first day of the season. Super effective and fast. Again, whatever you do a normal at, the highest level you can play at that speed is what you should be at. As you progress through the season, you will get more Paragon, Chaldeans, ancient pieces of gear, optimized builds, better pieces. And the speed will remain the same and the power will increase to where you can move up and retain that speed clear. So as an unhollowed DH, if you're spending more than 2 minutes in a rift, that's too high for you. You should be at a lower level. In a lot of Torment farming, you should be able to do it in less than 2 minutes as an unhollowed Essence DH. If it's taking longer than that, drop it down a level, drop it down 2 levels. Find the easy spot for you to where you can really grind it out. So what this chart does, and this can work for any class, like say you're just going to play Chicken Doc, right? And Chicken Doc's a little bit slower than DH, it's fine. And you're saying, well, hey, I'm doing Torment 8s right now because I'm trying to be effective. And the Torment 8s are taking me 3 minutes, right? 180 seconds. What this will tell you is it'll tell you how many seconds you have available to move up a rift. So if you're doing T8s in 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes, you can do T9s if it takes you 191 seconds, basically, and maintain about the same level of effectiveness. So let's go back to the previous discussion where we're talking about time you're wasting, backtracking, going to town, picking up everything in the map, picking up chests, waiting for stuff in Moltons, that sort of thing. 10 seconds, 11 seconds is all that separates the efficiency of these two Torments. You could be doing Torment 9 in 210 seconds, which is 19 seconds longer than this, but if you made a few adjustments, you could probably be doing Torment 9 at an effective level. There's not a huge time gap because you're only getting 6% more gain as you move up every Torment level. So understanding that speed is king is going to yield huge, huge returns. Focus on the speed. The power will come as you progress through the season. use this resource. I'm going to post a link to this Google Doc in the description. Please make a copy, use it for yourself, make sure you understand what you're doing so that you can understand how to be the most effective, so that you can basically generate the largest amount of resources and XP to get the most out of your character at the start of a season. Take your ego out of the equation and focus on efficiency first. If you focus on efficiency, you'll be 4 days into the season, you'll be like, man, I got 300 Riftstones. My buddy has none. He's farming T13, 4-minute runs, just slagging through them, and I'm just chilling. I've got 400 Riftstones, and I'm going to be able to just dominate. Full set of Caldesians on my farm gear right away. I'm going to have way more XP. I'm going to be Paragon 1,000. He's going to be Paragon 400. And he's going to be like, I don't understand. You're always doing Torment 9s, and I'm doing Torment 13s, and you're so far ahead of me. Efficiency is everything. Focus on the speed. The power will come as you progress. I promise. Find the time that you can get through the rift the quickest. Stick to that time. Move up accordingly as the power increases. Again, link to the Google Doc will be in the description. Link to my Twitch stream. Twitch.tv/JadoandW. Come hang out for Season 12. Love some DHs to come do some loot share runs because we're going to just absolutely crush it. Going to go for about 70 hours, hopefully, in the first 4 days of the season. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great night.